Happy New
Happy New
Year!
Year! Hello, everybody, and welcome to another evening of Spelljammer. It's so good to see you all. A quick update for today. Unfortunately, two of our cast members, Brandon and Deanna, were unable to join us this evening due to other things going on in their lives on the material plane here. And so we're joined by Max, CJ, and James as we just convert this session not into a session dealing with the devils of the city of Dis on the Nine Hells, but instead just a talk show and a little bit of a chat and chill amongst us as a cast and crew. We strongly invite you to ask us questions about our characters, about the game, or just general things and opinions about the maybe D&D in general or various things that we've done in other shows. So join us, ask us questions. I'm going to invite my crew here to help moderate any questions asked in chat. But before we get to that point, I do want to do a quick shout out and kind of do some of the general overhead stuff here. So first off, shout out to a partner, Nine Realms Gaming. They create top-notch gaming accessories from the finest woods that the multiverse has to offer, and you can visit them at ninerealmsgaming.com and use our partner code LIAR10 to get 10% off. Additionally, another one of our partners is Mithril Armory. They create unique tabletop RPG items, and it's always fun to have feelies, right? Something that you can hold and have at your table, or if you're virtual and you have an opportunity, maybe mail something to somebody and really surprise them. And so one of the things that you can do is grab their 1020 or a graphic t-shirt if you wanted to send some just merch. You know, maybe my crew could use a shared t-shirt, or each one of you has a unique t-shirt to represent what you do on the eternity. Last and not least, I want to give a big shout out to McBluff. McBluff is one of our regulars on our channel and comes and watch a lot of our shows, and also is the wonderful artist who did the character art for our Spelljammer characters. And so when you see those character arts on next to our character profiles, McBluff is the one who made those. And so go ahead, we'll throw those links in every so often into the chat, and please follow her on Twitter and Instagram, and she's a great artist, and we are really grateful to have her in chat when she is, or otherwise working with us in some way, shape, or form. So thanks so much, McBluff. Now, very briefly, Iron Valor is generally a place where you all get to impact the game, right? You get Valor tokens and you can help give blesses to our players or curses to my enemies or my villains. Tonight, we're probably not going to have that situation. However, I just want to remind folks that you can get Valor tokens by simply watching. So if you want to store up your tokens tonight to use them for our next game, when our party is apparently deciding to fight the guards of hell, you can do so. And you can find out how many Valor tokens you have and how to use them by using command point commands. It's extremely hard to read, and you can see ways to influence the game. That being said, stick around tonight, because I will be inviting the audience to help me make a couple of key decisions regarding our party and what is happening to them throughout the multiverse as we chat and chill. And so, without further ado, is there anything else that the rest of my crew would like to add at all?
We will be doing voting on the crew's flag tonight.
Right.
See which flag you guys would like the most. We've had several submitted from different members of our crew, so we hope you stick around and you enjoy that.
Yeah.
Are they really the guards of hell? Because they seem more like security guards.
Well, yeah, they might be security guards of hell / guards of hell. But additionally, audience and folks coming to watch, in addition to voting on the flag potentially for being used on the eternity, we're also going to invite you all to come up with names for the party, as well as determine just how much bounty each one of our party members has on their heads. So stick around, let's shoot for the stars, and let's roll on into an intro.
We've gotten a blessing, but we're going into the intro. Go ahead and roll that D10 for us. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Hey.
So, as I said at the outset of this, or inset of this, this is just a chat and chill. So everybody shake off any jitters or worries of how chaotic this night could have been, given the fact that Deanna, aka Drizzle, had been on a date and was fighting the guards / security guards of hell, while the rest of the party was also getting sort of pinned and isolated out around the city of Dis. We're
I'm
not talking
drunk.
about that necessarily today. Instead, I want to look at our crew here who is with us and invite you all as chat members to ask them questions or ask me questions about this world, this campaign, about Spelljammer, about D&D, anything. Truly throw them in the chat and we'll try to answer them to the best of our abilities. So with that being said, I wanted to open it up to any one of you three to answer. How's the game going so far? We're about 5 episodes in at this point in time, excluding Spooky Week's episode. And how's it going? And what's exciting to you about the character you're playing for Spelljammer? Many of you have been part of other Iron Valor games and have been running a various number of characters throughout these games. So what about the Spelljammer character is enjoyable to you? And what's exciting you?
Yeah, we've all been part of other Iron Valors. My first one was Candlekeep, which was
That was a good one.
That was a great one. I played a very different character from lore in Candlekeep. Elwyn was just like the epitome of Gen Z, like library worker that did not want to be there. And got married to Max's character after the end of the last game, which I think the funniest part about that was we had a pre-game session for this, and Max and I were laughing and we were like, haha, well, there's already plans for Jasmine and Leon to be together, so at least we don't have to worry about hooking up now. And then they like literally hooked up like the second or third session.
Then Jake was like, by the way, we're going before you ever got together, so
right.
I'm like, oh, okay, back on the table.
Cool. Also, little fact that some people might know but hasn't been widely advertised in game, and Max can expand upon this in a minute, but Jazz is the adopted daughter of Elwyn and Amelia from Candlekeep.
The lore.
So I have slept with my own dot anyway. I'm gonna just pass that on
It's a
to
big
Max.
check mark off the bucket list.
Was not anything that was on my bucket list, no, but thanks.
Yeah, no, that was pretty funny. I'm very happy with Jasmine's backstory. I think it's solid. But in playing Spelljammer, I very much enjoyed fleshing out that character beyond the backstory, because at first I was like, okay, so she's mean and she wants to make people undead. Now what? And then throughout the pre things and then up till now, I've gotten a great feel for her. I'm very excited for all the crazy shit that she does. It's very fun. And I can't wait to see where it goes further. Just you wait for that 6th level spell, everybody. It's going to be wild.
Don't do it.
I'll talk about that in a minute, too.
Shoot.
Dying inside, it's fine. James, what about you?
Oh man, I'm just really happy to have such a nice setting to get back into playing an artificer,
Isn't it cool?
and it's a great setting for an artificer, and I've had a blast. Like the pre-sessions were fantastic. I only died once.
Yeah, only once.
Imagine
Well,
dying before the campaign starts.
It's not my first time.
James, one of your first characters was an artificer too, right?
My first character in the original Aurora campaign.
Yes, that's what I was remembering. So how does it feel to be back to that after all this time?
I mean, that character also died in session 0. So I have
Wow.
a track record with artificers dying
impressive.
before the game starts.
You just get it out of the way early.
Yeah, it's true. That character died multiple times, so
I think I've only been resurrected once in my D&D career. That was when I played Curse of Strahd with Daniel. Died live on stream. And then I died again. Our
had Brandon's
KO ratio
character.
for Curse of Strahd was wild.
I had Brandon's character kill my character.
Wow.
He wanted to be a real boy.
I have been unbelievably lucky with Iron Valor campaigns, because when I first joined with Candlekeep, I was kind of warned, like, hey, like, we definitely all roleplayed, but it was not, like, we've gotten more and more into roleplay as each module goes on, and it was like, you might kick it. You might, and I was like, that's fine. I'm fully prepared to die. And I've come into both of my Iron Valor campaigns, especially the second one when we did the Aurora like 6-shot or whatever.
Oh, I
and
expected
was like,
someone to die in that.
I was like, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
I'm ready to die.
Daniel was like, I have
die.
6 throwaway characters that I could just destroy.
Yep.
He almost killed me. He got very
He did
close.
almost kill, like, yeah, she was in she was in a troublesome situation.
Yeah.
But then the other time, okay, so he really focused
Eli.
me quite hard. First off, I was immune to lightning, and he was like, "No, I'm gonna use the frost breath on you." Eat it.
Guess what?
I was like, "Oh, okay, sure." And then the second fight with the Hydra, he kept coming for me, but I was like, "I'm gonna hold my action because I know what you're about to do to me." And I just
I do feel
went
like
away.
he like pissed the Hydra off a little bit.
That was the idea, you know. Everybody else can wail on it.
Yeah, no, you definitely did that. I was like, Pendley's gonna die. And I think that if Eli hadn't basically pulled focus, I think Pendley would have died.
I mean, I was willing to be amicable with him, but then he was like, "Give me your lightning." I was like,
no.
and then I was like, I don't really want to do that. And he was like, I grab you by the throat. And I was like, and now we're starting initiative.
And now we're in combat. Yeah. So I guess the moral of that story is I went in every single Iron Valor up until this point being like, I am prepared and ready to die. And it hasn't happened. But then Laura almost died in our spooky week, and I was like, if this is the way I go, I swear.
Spooky week.
During spooky week. It wouldn't be
Well-
spooky if somebody didn't die.
Spooky. Yeah, for sure.
You
I'm
just haunt the
haunting
boat.
Jasmine's ass so
Yeah.
bad.
And something
Hey.
the audience haven't bore witness to, right, is that in the cast here is referencing it, is that we played about 4 to 5 sessions of a session 0 that took place during a period of time while all the cast and crew were in the academy itself and being cadets.
Such a
And
cool
James,
idea.
you met a dark fate during that period of time. And Bleasnoik was killed in that moment. So that's been so far probably it has been the only death, but there's only been a couple other close calls, one being Jasmine nearly having her soul sucked out.
That was close. Yep. That was.
That was a close one too. Yeah.
I feel like if
think
I had
Laura might
started
be
the
afraid of
apocalypse, I
ghosts.
could have made it out anyways, but
Ooh.
we would see. At least I'd take
Yeah,
Bran
Jasmine
down with
did
me.
almost take the entire world apart at one point as well.
True,
I'm concerned about her. Just in character, I'm very concerned
Hey,
about
look.
Jasmine.
Brand has it all locked down, he thinks, because he has that knowledge now, right? But so do I.
I'm so concerned.
And I
about
know
all
where
of
he
that.
lives.
Yeah.
None
Is
of
there
that could possibly go wrong. Sorry, go ahead.
is there a thing that you all think like has been you as a player, right? You're thinking to myself, man, I'm proud of Bleasnoik, Jasmine, and Lore. I'm proud of them. Great decision. And then is there a moment in the histories of your character so far where you're like, what the hell are you doing? You know what I mean? I know you are the ones making that choice, but when you reflect on it, we're 5 sessions in.
Yeah.
Is there something where you're thinking to yourself, I'm so proud of this, and oh Jesus, this one was a real spicy one.
Oh, that's
You know?
yeah.
Hmm.
I
I
think.
got a real spicy one.
Oh man.
These and Lore need to go off the rails more.
Yeah.
Well, you did go off the rails when we had that fight that you weren't present for. You did
That
great.
was great.
You did
I
fantastic.
even used Smite,
Yeah.
which is a thing that Lore does not do. But but
You
oh my
failed to
God.
mention this.
I mean,
No, it worked really well though, because like later on, then it opened up that really awesome conversation for Leon and Lore, and for Lore to be like, yeah, sometimes it doesn't work, and it turned out great, and I'm really glad. Also, like I messaged Brandon and I was like, thank you for doing lore justice when I wasn't there. Like I got to be a badass. I got to jump off balcony or like the second floor with Bleeze in tow. Like so cool. That made me really happy. So no complaints there. But
is that your most proud moment with lore so far?
Yeah, when I wasn't there, yeah. No.
Your most proud moment, you weren't even piloting the character.
I will say, Lore had some great moments in our pre-season that I'm not saying I wish people could have seen it because it was really special for us to like have that where we were kind of building that relationship and stuff. But I think that Lore made some decisions back then that helped me figure out who Lore was gonna be in this. But like Lore has been really weirdly grounded so far, which has been interesting for me. And I think part of that is, if we want to get like into it, is this desperate need to like keep everyone else okay. And I guess in a way I'm not proud of her for that, because I think she's like, she's just doing this herding cats thing instead of really following her own path. So that's an interesting realization I've had over a couple of sessions. It'll be interesting to see how that progresses.
Word. Yeah.
Got you.
I think I have just a what the fuck moment from our pre-game. Was like how my son came to be. I was like, what do you mean? I thought this was a damn spider. What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Why would you let me grab this?
You did though.
Why
right?
would you let me raise this?
Yeah.
Why would you let me abduct a child?
And I want to point out
I thought it was a tarantula.
You've now agreed to let your son go on an adventure, and now your son is in the midst of a combat.
My boy.
You as an artificer, and I think you are playing this artificer in a really cool way as an armorer. I love that you're helping Franklin also become one, and so I'm really curious because Franklin I think is now approximately 8.5 to 9 years old, and so you're putting me in an awkward position of having a child spider hang out with you in the middle of a fight. So, yeah,
At what rate do Myogi age? Myogi?
I have no idea.
It's also fair.
We don't know.
Yeah.
I loved, and they'll have to revisit it maybe with everyone because that would be super cute, but I loved the idea of just like an adventure being a food crawl. Like that was so
it was fun.
cute.
We were doing it.
We were doing it. So
and then
a chicken nuggies.
And then
in my
Franklin's
pocket.
mother decided that they were going to steal throughout the day.
Yeah.
The best part
And
about
the
that,
day before.
truly the best part about that is that we basically have everything subsidized by Brand. She could have just been like, I want these bugs, but instead she was like, I want these bugs in my pocket now.
Illegally.
Yeah.
Illegally.
Is there? Oh, yeah. What do you got?
Oh, I was just trying to think of answers to your question.
Yeah, I was going to say, while you think of that for a second, I want to just again invite the audience to ask questions, either about the game or about anything. I'm also happy to share, and you all can ask me stuff about the world as well. This world is not necessarily the same world that you would find within the Spelljammer books themselves. So feel free to ask questions there. But
I will say, I don't know if Zach was asking or sassing, but Lotsky has said, is there also a heaven?
Oh, I mean, yeah, right? Like, yeah. Actually, that's been a curious thing of talking about death, is that the Iron Valor is, I expect, not that I wish for it, but I expect that at some point, one or all or half of the party will die, potentially in the same fight. And so if that's the case, it's what do you do in a universe, in a multiverse where heavens and hells exist, and there are very powerful beings like Zachariah of Lemongrass and Lavender Fields who can help you,
I need you to use your action to resurrect my party member.
Right.
You just got to go do a breakout in heaven.
I
Just
will
go bust out
say,
the home.
oh, Jasmine wouldn't be going to heaven.
We're already where you would be.
Yeah, true. I feel like out of all the Iron Valor DMs that have come since Daniel, I think Jake, while being extremely kind and unassuming as a person, has been not pulling his punches the most. He's just been ready to devastate us, which I respect.
Deanna kept telling you all when we entered the game that I would attempt to potentially kill you.
Yeah, but we heard that with Brandon too.
That was true. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it's always scary as a GM to those moments where you're like, oh shit, somebody could die.
I feel like you felt that. Okay, whatever.
I still felt it while you were sitting in a pocket dimension and there was a roulette wheel spinning, right?
Well, to answer your question, that was what I was going to mention as both of my moments, actually, as the moment I was most proud of and the oh what the fuck moment. Because Jasmine made a cool tactical decision. She was like, I'm gonna kill this guy real fast and so many of our problems. But then he could teleport, and I was like, well, fuck. And then I almost got my soul taken out. So that was both my favorite moment and my oh god moment.
Something that struck me about Jasmine, and I do appreciate your dedication to this character trait, is that she has a very black and white mentality. She's like, this is gonna be solved like this, or why didn't you kill him when you had the chance, and justice doesn't matter for it a lot, and like all these really she has a really stringent view of her reality. And I think Lore occasionally wants to kill her. I may or may not have said behind the scenes, is Lore gonna have to murk Jazz at some point? But
you could try.
At the same time, I know that, oh god, that face off would be horrifying personally. But as a player,
I turn into a T-Rex.
I've got an okay hit point. We'll see what happens. Maybe Smite will work this time. But realistically, though, I have to admire as a player, like, your dedication to that ideal for Jasmine. It's
she's very clinical
horrifying
about it.
Sometimes, but
very, very clinical about life and death and all that. It's like, I mean, you would still be alive and moving. So.
Oh god, the whole conversation with Leon, don't get me started.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Yeah, y'all like that? I remember seeing like everybody's faces in the background. I was like, perfect.
I didn't even answer this for me.
Dude, that was so, like, for a date night. what a combo. You know what I mean? Like, you're sitting in an Olive Garden, right? And you sit down next to your person. The person's like, "Oh, would you like some breadsticks?" And you're like, "So if you die, I'm gonna bring you back from the dead and make you like live forever. Right? Do you mind?" And it's like, oh my god, would you like red sauce or tomato sauce?
They didn't say, do you mind?
No, it's not, do you mind? It's like, I don't care if you mind.
Yeah, no, Leon was like, do I have a choice in the matter? And I think Deanna commented on this specifically, was like, did not answer.
Smooth that right over.
Yes, moved on to the next conversation.
I also just cannot wait. I'm just saying, I just cannot wait to continue to see Bleeze. This crew has, when we think about kind of the categories of people, we have two geniuses sitting in the same ship together. And Bleeze is an artificer and an engineer, it is my understanding, and extremely smart when it comes to the way that things function. And then you have Jasmine, who comes in with a much more theoretical. So if Bleeze is hyper, maybe practical, you have Jazz is hyper theoretical. And I just really appreciate, Bleeze, you creating a grenade, a flashbang, giving it to Drizzle, and I think we've already insinuated a bit in our campaign that Bleeze was the one who created the notion of lasers. And so, the universe has been fundamentally changed from Bleaze's decision-making.
Super cool.
Yeah.
And inventions. Yeah, Bleeze is like a sleeper. Like
Bleeze is a sanctuary sleeper. Bleeze just shows up sanctuaries and then just stands there going, I'm smart.
I'm smart. I invented
I'm gonna
the
sanctuary myself this time.
That's right.
Please. Bleeze died because he sanctuaried someone who effed him over, is what happened in our pre-game. So.
Yeah, that will probably come up in game at some point in time.
It'll come up.
Let me pause this for a second, gang, because we hit our first time marker, and I need to ask the audience to help me with something for a moment. Sure, let's do a momentary cheers. We'll do this as a cheers. A cheers and a salute. How about that?
I like that that Mountain Dew there.
Is it like there we are, just
No, I just like that it's
shift
green
the
screen.
product placement just a
Oh
little bit.
yeah, it's
there.
purple Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
but if I hold it like this, you can't tell what I'm drinking.
Grape flavored Mountain Dew.
So if I can ask the audience to help me for a second, our crew here, our 3 members of our cast here, they're notorious pirates. The radio stations often hail them as traitors, as people who've committed a number of various crimes, including larceny, misdemeanors, masquerading as royalty, assaulting Spelljammer Academy folks, and stealing Spelljammer Academy property. So I'd like to ask the audience here to help me out. I need 3 people to roll for me. A set of dice as we set the bounty number for the coins that sit upon our players' heads. And
Okay.
so,
Will we go an individual?
yeah, we're going to do individual. Each of you might be worth a little bit more or less than each other in terms of the bounties that are on your head. So, what I would ask somebody to do is we will roll if what's the easiest thing to roll? A d10?
We only
A
have
D10,
10s.
I think that's
Perfect. That's what I thought. Can I have 3 people in the chat roll for us a d10? And I need 3 of them. I'll take the first 3.
Yes.
And what I'm
Those
I'm
are high
gonna do-
numbers. We have a
geez.
7 and an 8. We need 1 more.
Okay.
Thank you, Lotsky and Flock Obama.
Yes, thank you.
This time you did roll a 7.
I told you it was 7. Yes. Okay, Zach.
Great. And so now, wait. So what do we got? We got a 7, an 8, and a what?
We haven't
We
got the
haven't
third
gotten
one.
a third.
Oh,
roll
okay.
yet.
It'll be a 1. Come on,
Alright.
baby.
Another chat. Afraid not had to. Oh, thank you,
7, 8,
Foxfire.
6.
Let's go.
That is a
6?
six.
Those
7,
are-
8, 6?
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
All together now.
Awesome. Could you all do me a favor and do a roll off for a second? You can either do it in the chat or if you have dice at your table or anything like that.
I'm
I
gonna
just
use
need
my.
you to roll
Let's do
off.
it in the chat. Are you in the chat right now, James? Yeah, let's do it in the chat. So
Yeah,
then
in the
everyone
chat.
can see it.
So the lowest number will be worth the highest amount on the bounty, and inverse. So
I got a 5. Ooh,
Did I get a? Mine
no, I
didn't
got
work.
a 5.
We both rolled
You guys
2s.
both got 2s. And I
Wait,
got
what?
a 5.
Oh,
all right,
I
do
see my
one more
dad's
roll
done
off.
me some favors.
all right.
Awesome.
8.
Oh,
Top
There's
that.
an 8 for Jazz.
Uh,
And what we got for Bleeze?
my message is identical to one that I did within the last 30 seconds.
It doesn't care because I'm a moderate. You want me to roll for you?
Yeah, roll for me.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, go for it.
All right.
This makes sense though.
5.
Oh,
Okay, awesome. So in that roll off, Bleeze Noik, you actually have the highest bounty of 8,000 gold pieces on your head.
That makes
and then we
sense.
go from there. Jasmine has 7,000, Lore has 6,000. So awesome. Thank you, gang. This is going to help me as I make some determinations about some crews that may be looking for this party later on in the game.
Wait, so Bleeze has 1,000.
Bleeze has the highest of
8,000?
8,000.
8,000. Okay, 8, 7, and 6,000.
Yeah.
That's correct. Yep.
I think that altogether that does make sense.
Yep.
I think that checks out because like Bleeze would be like the smart one that invented laser pistols, and they really want his ass back.
I want it alive.
You're one of the
Yeah.
live. Jasmine makes T-Rexes and attacks the Admiral. Lore,
Oh,
They're
yeah.
alive. It doesn't
The
Yeah,
daughter.
matter.
actually,
Same thing.
audience, just whomever is first, whoever wants to say dead or alive, dead or alive, right? Any of the 3 options, just write those in chat here and just name whoever you want to assign it, right? I'll take the first
Oh.
3.
dead for who?
Just dead. All
Dead.
of them.
Zach has just
Wait,
been dead,
dead,
and dead 3
Oh,
times
wow.
in a row. Thanks.
All right,
Thank you,
Zach.
Zach. Thanks.
Zach, I'll use yours for one, but I want to invite someone else.
I don't feel like. Okay, Zach, just pick someone that you want dead.
It's so like my father, okay,
Zach.
to give me the lowest bounty to make me feel like shit.
Zach,
This
if
is
you
true.
want me to, I'll randomize who got your.
Jasmine
dead.
is wanted dead.
Oh well, alrighty then.
Thank you, Zach.
Thank you, Zach. I mean, that
I
makes
mean,
sense.
that's basically the
Horrifying.
same thing.
But okay.
If she's not dead, then she's alive.
But
She could be alive when she's dead.
She might be dead. She might be alive anyway. She probably has some sort
You'll
of
never know.
contingency plan.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Awesome.
She had like a little syringe on her arm to like inject into her like 10 hours after she dies.
She would.
So the rest of
If I can figure it
those
out.
labels may come in here in a little bit. We'll keep a watch on it. I do want to again invite the audience, like, to ask us whatever you want. Right, we'll try to elaborate on it with regards to D&D or this game or our characters or past Iron Valors, if you'd like to do that as too. But throw those questions in chat as well. I'll be thinking and looking at what happens to Lore and Bleeze in terms of the way that these bounties function. And so I guess I want to now pivot for a second and say, what questions do you three have for each other? Is there anything that, like, so far, without maybe giving away too many secrets, if you have any that you're holding close to the chest, is there things that you've had in your interactions where you want to elaborate on this, or be like, what did you mean by this? Or what do you think is going on from this?
Jasmine.
Okay, go ahead.
Why dead things?
Why dead things?
What got you into that? What started you down that path?
You asking Jasmine, or are you asking the person that made Jasmine?
Jasmine.
What started her with dead things? Undeath was always a fascinating thing, because it was like she'd always heard tell of like creatures that were so strong and carried that undead mantle, like liches, some of the most powerful casters in the fucking multiverse, just everything like that. She got into forbidden knowledge at Candlekeep at a very young age, so she knows a lot of the bad juju, as most people would put it. And undeath was one of those things that just kind of like struck a chord, and she was like, that would be great. I would love that. I would love to be able to do that on a higher level, and one day be a lich of my own, and blah blah blah.
Do you think, also, I did not realize that I hadn't muted while I was typing obnoxiously loud, so sorry.
Couldn't hear it.
I didn't hear it.
Good, great. Do you think that Jasmine has an attraction to undeath because of all the death that she was surrounded in earlier in her life? Sorry.
Damn.
So
Jasmine,
you
what
went.
is
So you went
Jasmine-
for the parents.
Yeah, what does Jasmine dream? How does Jasmine dream about her mom and her dad?
Well,
Let's
Jasmine
get
doesn't
Freudian.
sleep, but she does have like kind of dreamlike, a dreamlike state after a certain amount of time. Just kind of reflexive mental exercises. One of the ones that tends to hit a lot is that initial thing. She was probably like 5 when it happened, but she used to live in the Underdark when she was a wee one, and her city got sieged by the how do you pronounce it? Loloth, I think. The Spider Queen.
I've heard a lot of it is Lolth.
Lolth.
Yeah.
Lolth's army essentially sieged her city with its driders and spiders and all that goodness. And one of her earliest memories is of her parents being killed by an armored drider in her home, before some righteous crusaders from the surface world fended it off.
And Elowin.
That's right. You gave that memory to a lich recently. You spoke to Scug, and you actually, Scug had stolen that image of that memory from you.
She stole
you
it from
still
me?
have not stolen, but
But
she looked
equipped
at it and she has it.
Yeah.
So that's right.
She does have
So
that, so now I have to tell everybody about it.
So would you say that maybe that also inspired you to go down that path? Whereas if
She
maybe
was
you had the
definitely
power back then,
desensitized, yes. And
you
if she
could've
could have
stopped
kept
it.
her parents alive in that moment, then yeah, absolutely. Because there's so much in necromancy that's like preventing death. That's basically the whole study of it for. It's like
I think
stopping death.
I think we've really made some progress here today.
She definitely needs a therapist. But yeah, she was definitely desensitized to the concept of it, of people dying, and was upset that she couldn't stop it. And then on top of that, her parents being holy crusaders, and well, both of you have flashy radiant powers.
Elowin, like the character of Elowin in my heart is just like ew. Ew. Like, literally is a celestial warlock. Like, it is definitely holy adjacent, right?
Mhm.
So you're not wrong.
But
It's just,
Elowen
I
was
have
the more
to-
relatable of the two parents. Amelia wanted to
I'm
grow her up to be a
obligated.
paladin at first,
Right.
for sure.
I'm just physically obligated to air quotes every time you call them holy raiders or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because Elowen's like, ew, what?
Yeah, no. I mean, understandable. It was just like, at an early age, Jasmine always, like, she was brought up to the surface world, essentially, by her new adopted parents. And shit was so bright up there. Her parents' powers were so bright, and it hurt her eyes a lot. So that began the initial distaste. And then she was like, what's the opposite of being a paladin? Yeah. How can I make my mom be so upset with me?
Max and I have talked a lot about like how Elowen and Amelia must feel about Jasmine. I mean, like, not necessarily that they know what's going on now, but like coming up to that. And I think we kind of decided that Elowen's probably more like yeah, I went through a dark phase. It's fine. Like,
It's
don't worry.
not a phase, Mom.
And then I met you, honey, and you made my life boring.
And you loved it, Smooch.
Are there any audience chat questions? Just checking.
Yeah, we
Zach
just
had a
got
question.
another one too. So we'll do
Oh,
Zach's
right.
first.
And yeah, so Zach's question is, what was your least favorite class in the academy?
What was?
Yeah, what did you dislike?
What would have Jasmine disliked? Jasmine loves school.
Of course she would love school.
Probably the like we discussed that like first years would have like the onboarding class that everybody has to go to as freshmen. So I think that one would be her least favorite.
Yeah, it was a really tough class. It was the freshman interest group class. They clump all the freshmen together and they're like, what are you interested in? Let's talk about like what it means to be a freshman. And I'm sure Jasmine was like, I hate this class.
Like, let me go fucking study. Yeah, something like that. I think that'd be
Believe it or
hers.
not, like, Laura was a huge tryhard in school. Like, definitely she tried to play it off like she wasn't, right? But especially early on, I kind of played her like, yay, I'm here to be a cadet.
Yeah, you worked hard on it. Probably like one of the kids that's like, you know, not super talented with it, so they work hard to make up for it, and they do pretty good because of it.
Wow.
Wow.
Consistently a dick about Laura, love it.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Laura's above average. Just literally her best friends are geniuses.
Yeah.
True.
Look at the character she actually, okay, the wisdom.
Sounds like
But-
excuses to me, but that's just me.
What was your
Yeah, there
least
was a-
favorite, please?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Jake.
It was definitely languages with other cultures. That's
Really?
confusing. I don't enjoy it. Like, I enjoy the other cultures and what they do and how they build and what they idolize. But like, let's just speak the same language.
He's a hands-on learner. He's kinesthetic. He doesn't like memorization.
Yeah.
It's kind of me in real life, actually. Cool. Well, that answers that
Yeah.
question pretty thoroughly.
Yeah, there was a PE class too. I saw Lotsky was maybe referencing the PE class. Yeah, there was a simulator class, so you could always jump in the
Yeah.
simulator and do stuff in the simulator. And Drizzle and Lore were in there all the time, and others
The
were in
simulator
there.
made it fun.
Yes,
Yeah.
Jazz was never really that opposed to PE class because it was a nice, you know, endorphins, getting active. She always sat down and read otherwise. And for PE, she would also, or the simulator, she would always use magic anyways. That would be cool to like practice her spells and stuff. We do have another audience question.
Now, Flack Obama, I have if I could get a clarifying to this. You've said, how do you all feel about Drizzle's proposed marriage? How invested do you think she could be at the moment? Are we I'm guessing we're talking about the most recent one.
Yes, the same.
Which
Drizzle's
one?
done it twice.
I'm guessing we're not talking about when she impersonated a royal for our heist in, I believe, our first episode, but rather the
I think
that
that she
she's
might have actually wanted to
considering.
marry that person too.
Yes, the newer one.
She did, but she's considering potentially moving a little bit fast with this bartender champion. What's his name again?
Koba.
Koba.
Yeah, Koba.
Yeah,
the
he's so
first
cool and
guy-
The
trustworthy.
current one.
The first guy, the guy from the material plane, was Bertrand, and
Bertrand.
now we have Koba.
Yes, Flock Obama says yes, the current one. What do you guys think of Koba?
I think that he's too good to be true. I think
he
he's
does seem
probably
too
a
good to be true.
spy.
He's obviously a spy.
I can't say this in front of Jake. I'm gonna anyway. I think he's gonna die.
You think
No.
you think he's gonna just get
I
off
think
right
he's
here?
just gonna get. Yeah.
If somebody's that nice in a media of any kind, they either
Like,
get
Drizzle's
killed
gonna get attached. Yeah.
or
And it's
they're
gonna-
actually an evil person that's gonna spy on you.
Yeah.
Oh no, poor Koba.
Come back.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, if we had said that in front of you,
Even
Jake,
act-
you would have done it for sure.
Yeah, definitely. It could have been
Yeah.
anything.
I'm really curious because I mean, just building off of it, right? I think I as a GM, I'm always wondering. With most of my sessions, it's a lot of question asking. I try to make predictions of what I think people are going to do, but you also ask a lot of questions of how are people going to interact with these characters? And so, for Drizzle to connect as heavily as she has done to Koba, as a GM, I'm kind of like, man, do I want to use this in a cool way to leverage something out of Drizzle. It might be good or bad, right? But also at the same time, I'm just organically playing Koba and the goals that Koba has, and hopefully they mesh. And if Drizzle likes it, she should put a ring on it personally. So that's just my opinion.
So
very
you're
sweet.
saying that if they get married, we'll have a bartender on the ship.
I mean, if you
We
already
flight
do.
drinks.
look, you've already had somebody ask Drizzle to join the ship a little bit, right? One of the hags had asked, "Hey, can I hook up with you a little bit more, right, and be connected to you?" And Drizzle,
She was like,
Drizzle
"Nope."
thought, no, that was a little bit too spooky. And so, yeah, if you guys you guys are a infamous crew. I'm sure people would love to join.
Zach has a question that is also my question. I'm gonna piggyback off of that, Zach. How many NPCs are allowed on the ship?
Yeah, actually, that's a great question. I mean, just real briefly. So the Eternity as a ship is famous in its own right as being the first of its kind during that era of Spelljammer. So about 8 years ago, it was the first of its kind as a warship that could also be piloted by a skeleton crew. And so we have a crew of 6 people. If you think Franklin is one of the crew members, you have 6 individuals who are piloting this large ship. But this ship could carry up to about 50 to 75 people. And so, yeah, you could populate the ship.
We
with,
can't
with,
trust that many people.
44 or more NPCs.
They're all just gonna be married to Drizzle.
I support that. I do.
Drizzle, I mean, is really interesting. Just to Zach, ask more to that question, but that's your answer. Is basically you could put a ton of people on that ship. You just have to find room for them, right, and make sure that people are feeling good, right, about where they are in the ship. But
If
It'll
they're
be like
zombies, they
Sid
don't have to
Meier's
feel very good.
Pirates. We're gonna have to measure crew morale and
Yeah.
We got
go
a
into
whole
battle
bunch
and
of
get a few
coolers.
people killed
yeah,
and-
because the last thing you would want is a mutiny on your hands, right? The last thing you would want is a bunch of people on the ship and then realizing that maybe they could take the ship from you.
Yeah,
And,
that is why we
um,
organize mass battles and get most of them killed off, so that we can have the treasure.
Yeah.
That's
And we
why I
don't
turn
have
into
to
a
feed
T-Rex
them?
in front of them often.
Rude.
I will say to the Drizzle wedding sort of situation, or potential marriage, right? Is I'm really curious as a person, and again, I don't have the answers, so I'm curious as an audience member, basically, too, to think to myself. I mean, I'm sure Drizzle would love to be married to 50 people if they worshipped her, and she could enter into a position of divine in deism, right? Drizzle is our warlock, and I don't think you as an audience have watched the way that warlocks function in my games, but warlocks are sort of not predetermined for you, and there's an actual choice process to it. And so I'd be kind of curious if suddenly Drizzle found her way into a position of being a warlock, or if any of you wind up sort of converting your way in that direction. That'd be really curious to me. So
I'll just triple class. Got this.
I actually thought about multi-classing Jasmine into an undead warlock, because there's apparently a really cool class for that. But
the Lich?
Lich.
No. Oh yeah, maybe.
Yeah. The Lich patron? Yeah.
Is that what I sent you? I don't remember.
I
It's
think
been
you
a while.
might have sent me that one.
I remember it was like
you sent me
work for a
the
powerful
Undying.
undead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sent me either the Undying or the Lich.
It's
so,
we talk a lot in DM, so I would have to scroll very far.
yeah.
But I know that it was a very cool like concept, and it fit very well with what was going on. I was like,
Something I'm excited by. Just actually, my timer I think went off. 1 minute. Let me check my timer. Oh no, we got 2 minutes. So I'm gonna ask a question quick. I'm really curious. By Jasmine has been making custom spells. So every level of spell slot, Jasmine can make one custom spell. And I am kind of curious if Bleasnoik has been inventing stuff like this flashbang grenade. I'm kind of curious to see where the next invention is going to come out of Bleasnoik. And I'm really curious to see what happens with lore in terms of the narrative that is going on for lore, of what might lore happen to lore, or lore just push for, that might start fundamentally changing the reality that we live in because of what lore pursues, right? Jasmine's sort of doing it by creating custom spells. Blease can invent things, so I'm really curious. I'm saying it mostly as just a excitement generator, but I'm like, what?
Issue a challenge.
Right, like
Jake's like, hey, you have the option to do these things. I'll probably say yes. Do something wild.
I struggle. Okay, so I'm historically a spellcaster. I've really branched out in the last couple years, but historically I'm a spellcaster. And genuinely as a player, less than the character herself, I struggle to have any sort of creativity with that, really. Like I can definitely, characterize the character, right? But I'm like, when it comes down to it, I hit things with sticks.
Mhm.
As far as my actual attacks and stuff goes, I don't have magic powers. I'm not a genius. I just try hard, I guess. So it's one of those
At
things
least you're
that
trying.
I have a lot of fun, and I really lean into characterization and stuff, which I mean, actually Lore's been true to character, but Lore hasn't done anything really wild because she's been so preoccupied with everything, I guess. But I have to say, just as a player, I do actually genuinely struggle with making melee fighters creative in the way that spellcasters can be.
So something that I'm going to only pitch one idea, and I don't think we have to build that here. Something that you've raised, which I would be really curious about. An audience, I invite you to weigh in too, obviously too. But it's you're saying that your smites don't work because your god denied you, right? That was a huge moment where Laura was talking to Leon. Who says a god gets to decide if you can smite? Right? How do you give a middle finger to the ones who are your patrons?
And you do have things like Oathbreaker, Paladins, and things like that, who obviously still have all of their powers. So it is definitely, and I would put that, yeah, that's a little bit movement and a little bit characterization as well. But yeah, the reason I made that choice about like Lore's smite being wonky, I have two reasons for that. One, I have always entertained the possibility, just from an out of character perspective, I've entertained the possibility that maybe it's like Lore thinks it's the god, right? Lore took the whole thing very personally, but maybe the like blow to the confidence of having her god say, hey, this is not your path right now, maybe that's why she can't smite all of the time.
Yeah.
Who knows? And just like a shout out, even though they are not watching at the moment, but a friend of mine played a war cleric, not a paladin, at one time, and they would tell me about this campaign all the time, and sometimes when people are like constantly telling you about their campaigns, you're like, oh, that sounds really nice for you. But I wanted to hear about this. It was so interesting to me. Every time I was like, yes, what happened this week? And one thing that happened to their war cleric is that they had a huge connection to their god, and they had like an amulet and stuff, and it was severed. And I didn't really get to hear how this went so much, but I knew that there was an exploration of like, what do these powers mean to my character? And I thought, what if, for lore, like, I love that idea of exploring what these holy powers mean to a person, and maybe the step further of, is it the god? Is it from inside? Is it the person? And so that's kind of where I was going with that at the time, and I am interested to see where that goes, but it's all up in the air.
So I'm gonna bring that back for a minute. Again, audience, throw some more questions out there. Lotsky, the fact that you asked questions about how many NPCs can we put on the boat, I could see a little bit of an energy coming from these people thinking, well, how many could we put on that boat? And I'm excited to kind of see where some of this stuff might generate, or just dig out more. Ask our players to throw shade at one another, right? We're already kind of doing it at Drizzle in this whole marriage sort of situation. I want to first pause as my timer went off again, and I want to invite us for a moment here. Audience, again, I need your help. In our last episode, the radio station continued to announce that there is a nasty names sweepstakes where they are looking for names to be submitted to what we're going to call this crew. Our crew hasn't decided to submit their name yet, and there is not an unlimited amount of time to do that. And so if they don't do it, they get named by someone else. And I want it to be you all. And so if I could invite some folks to put some names in the chat here, and my cast and crew will help read those names off. I'm looking for nasty names for a bunch of pirates. What can we call them? I'm looking for 5 submissions at this time.
If we want to give them a second to brainstorm that, Flock Obama did have another question.
Hit us up, Flock Obama. While everyone, I am inviting the nasty name sweepstake. Could somebody write into the chat, one of my cast members here, looking for names for an infamous crew for nasty name sweepstakes?
It's pretty good.
If your name wins, cast member, right? Because I'm going to eventually roll to see who wins. You do win tickets to a bath and spa on the Elysian Plain, and I will find a way to reward you in some way, shape, or form in reality. So I don't know how I'm going to do that yet, but we'll find a way. So throw those names in there. But Flock Obama, you have a question.
Yes, Flock Obama's question is: can you? And I guess we can round robin this. Can you each describe each crew member in 3 words? 1 for the past that you know or think of them, 1 for the present, and 1 for the future that you see them in. That's a great question.
Wow.
I love it.
So are we all doing each character?
Let's all do it. Why not?
Yeah,
Let me character.
Yeah.
Let me get out my pen. I need to do some writing so I can remember these. Your pen.
So we have Leon and Drizzle, who are not here. We're
Jasmine, definitely describing them.
Lore and Bleasnalik.
Drizzle's gonna be the easiest.
And it was Flock Obama. It was the 1 word for the past, 1 word for the present, 1 word for the future. Is that correct?
Yep, that's it. That is the prompt, which is an awesome prompt.
Cool.
Also, we do have some name suggestions coming in already.
I want to invite you. Let's store them up for a minute. Take a minute longer to write out your ideas, and then we're gonna come back and have you read them. And I'm gonna write them down because, by God, I'm gonna name you all some nasty names, and my chat's gonna help do that. So.
We have 3 so far. I bet we can get several more before we start.
God, Drizzle's personality is so easy to
Chad,
nail down.
I want you to know that if your name let's assume your name wins, right? I'm gonna forever call the crew this, and so I'm really looking forward to whatever these nasty names are.
Please have mercy.
but don't make it Bleasnag or whatever your last name is, because it's impossible to
Please nag.
It's
Bleasnag.
It's Kneeslag.
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 There's no
So-
Kneeslag.
You got laggy knees. I gotta remind myself I got laggy knees.
What is a word for someone? No, wait. I can come up with this myself. I'm a copywriter. I don't want to give the whole thing away. Oh no. This is harder than
This is pretty easy.
there are too many words.
Who?
Not
What
enough
would I
time.
say lore was?
This is gonna turn out terribly.
They're all one-word descriptions.
One word descriptions.
Oh, there's a word for that.
There is a word for that.
I feel like that's a cop out.
James, are you done?
Huh?
Are you done?
No.
Oh, okay.
This is just how James Think is staring
Got
on in the
it.
corner.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
I was gonna recruit you to read me some nasty
Hey.
names, but
Oh, you want some nasty names?
yeah, I wanna gather the nasty names.
Hey Jake, are you
Alright.
gonna do this as well?
No.
All
I
right,
might,
So
I might.
we got our first nasty name is
Yeah.
Captain Crunch and the Merry
Oh.
Men.
Captain Crunch and the Merry Men.
Because Leon's jaw went crunch when the Admiral hit him in it.
I love it. All right.
We got Scotty Four Fingers.
That's it. It's just Scotty
Scotty Fourfingers.
I just love
Where does that come from?
That's the
I don't
greatest
know.
name of all time. I just love the idea that it's like, look out for Scotty Four Fingers, and everyone's like, is it just a guy or is there a crew? Like, what are we?
Are there 4 of them? Like,
Then you got Ridley Two Face.
Oof. Oh man! Again, it's just a nasty name for this crew.
It's just a nasty name.
Oh, that's the word I was looking for. Let's go. Okay.
Ridley Two-Face. Wow, I love it. Keep them coming, right? I love these.
I'm halfway done.
I'm getting there. Maybe we can, you know what? Maybe we should focus, like, do one character at a time.
Oh, that's a good idea. Okay, so did we all do
Okay.
Drizzle first?
I can be done with Drizzle by the time you guys are.
All right, cool. James, did you do Drizzle yet? Oh. I said that was the easiest.
James is not participating.
Mine are gonna be like on the fly.
Okay, cool.
All right, I
they-
can start with Drizbiz.
You wanna go ahead?
So,
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Then hit me up
So-
when you're done.
I mean, in the past, I think the word that I see as Drizzle for the past is wild. The present word that I see for Drizzle is uncertain. And the future word that I see for Drizzle is doomed.
Damn! Pulled 0
You don't want to hear that from the DM. Ah, well, okay. So for Drizzle, her past word that I went with was airheaded. I think that's pretty apt. I now have
Jazz
her.
called her that a lot, actually.
Yeah, that was one of her favorite words. And Drizzle was like, "Oh, thank you." And Shannon is like, "Exactly." Trusting would be her current word for the present. And then her future word is a compound serial killer. Just because she seems to just have that ability to, like, forget what morals are all of a sudden.
Painfully true, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. James, do you want to go next or shall I?
So for the past on Drizzle, my first word would be aloof. For the present, concerning. Man, the future Drizzle. Problematic.
Probably. Are we writing these as our character or as us.
I'm doing mine with my character.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
I'm just providing him as like somebody who's been watching the characters. I'm not doing it as GM or anything, but
Gotcha. I'll do mine in character because that answers my question for which one I should pick.
Right.
we got any other nasty names for a second? Let me check.
Not yet. Not
Alright,
yet.
no worries.
Libcat3000 said, "Oh, those were just random pirate names. Didn't realize you were looking for a group name."
Oh.
I said, "I'm sorry, but they're perfect
no.
anyway."
They're so good, but if you want to give me some crew names,
You
great,
gotta
but
look
I'd
out for the
love
pirate crew, Scotty Four Fingers.
Watch out, Scotty Four Fingers. So good. So
I mean, I
really into
appreciate
it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Drizzle. I have Drizzle. I
Yeah,
haven't
okay.
done Drizzle yet. The past Drizzle to me was nebulous. You could take that literally or figuratively. Presently, I called her narrative. And this, I got a little existential here, but for future, I called her infinite.
Damn, that's real opposite to me, right?
That's the
there.
most
And you're
polite.
like,
That you...
no, I feel like she could become something beyond herself, whether it's just part of that cloud or something bigger and more concerning, which is the way she seems to be going at the moment.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I'm taking Franklin with her.
Again, I want to invite the audience to ask other questions. We're just going through one that was posed to us, but audience, ask us questions, make us roast each other, ask us to share secrets. We're going to try to answer stuff as much as we can. Again, our session today is going to be a little bit, we'll end earlier than normal, and so just a heads up on that. And then we'll have coming up here, when my timer goes off again, we're going to vote on some flags to which ones we like most. So
Can't wait.
I think. Gang, let's do Leon next.
Yeah, I got Leon's.
go for it. I'm still
Yeah, okay.
finishing.
Do you want to go first, Jake, or should I?
No, go for it.
Okay, cool. So I did these in character. So for Leon, his password was eager. He was always an eager beaver at the academy. Always wanted to be the best captain he could be. Now he's jaded. Seen a lot, done a lot. Still irresponsible, but jaded. And then the final one for the future is immortal.
Oh no.
Horrifying.
Oh no.
Absolutely
Jesus.
horrifying. Thank you.
Oh no.
You're welcome. I'll have to let Brandon know what I chose.
So I got for Leon, gang.
Gang.
Yeah, when the first one was careless. I think in his past he was careless. Now I just thought of it I just was trying to figure out what word came up for me, and I picked scared, but then I switched it over to shackled. And then lastly for future, I just thought free. I would hope that be the case.
He's not gonna be free. He's immortal.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you're immortal, you're pretty free. I mean, free from death.
Yeah.
Well,
Free to do your own thing if you want,
well.
but he's not allowed to.
I've got Leon here.
Go for it.
Past, I've got ambitious. Present, I have wayward. And future, I have great.
Oh, great. I love it. Cute. I love it.
It has the potential to be great.
He does.
He does. And I'm going to help make sure that he stays great.
Forever.
Forever. Brandon would be up in arms at this point.
So for Leon's past, motivated. His present. What would Leon's present be? He's confident. He's confident in his abilities, in where he's going. He seems like he's leading very confidently as well. And for the future, wanted.
Oof, I love
He would
that.
love that.
I love that.
Well, he wants to set the record straight, so I don't know if
He's gonna set the record.
He's still a criminal, probably by the end of it, but Spelljammer will be fucked up. So yeah, I guess one is right. Awesome. I have all of mine done now.
Cool.
Yep, same.
Uh,
Well, except Lore's future is blank for me.
Yeah. Same. My Lord's future is blank for me as well.
all right, what's up?
I got a one for her, but okay.
Dead.
Let's crack out Jasmine next.
Okay, sure. I'll let you guys go first.
I think you should go first, and then
You
we'll
think
roast
I
you.
should?
You gotta do yourself. Nice.
I did. Well, yeah, you have to do yourself.
Yeah.
You did all 5.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, I guess. Okay. Yeah, Jasmine, what do you got?
So this one wasn't really in character because I am me. For Jasmine's first one, I went with edgy. Right now, Jasmine's present is traumatized, and then as the third one, I guess I put lich because it seems like a pretty seems like it'll probably happen. We'll see.
I'll go next because I feel like I have some similar.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Jazz's past is sharp. Take that a couple different ways.
Sharp tongue. I'll take it
Present, troubled,
that way.
which I feel like is similar to traumatized.
Yeah.
Future, lost. I had
That's so
a few
sad.
on that one. I had
Damn.
a few on that one, and I'm hoping it doesn't go that way. But I could not just put evil because I'm really hoping, like, it could go either way. But I'm hoping she has a character arc where maybe she's able to resolve some of that trauma. But if she doesn't,
Me too. Do you guys want to like guess alignments at some point as well tonight?
Oh my god, sure, we can do that. Ugh. I'm not a
terrible
huge
with
fan. I don't
alignments.
really subscribe to alignments, but that's just
It's also
me,
true.
So.
I use it as a generalization.
Yeah.
I think it's
all right.
like zodiacs,
James, what do you got?
but I hate zodiacs.
So for the past on Jasmine, weird.
You just saw her in the hall. Weird.
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 The present, like, I mean, like, I still get my ice from the cooler, so I don't have much room to speak, but a little bit uncouth.
Uncouth. Okay. That's fair.
And for the future Jasmine. Ugh. Is that a word? Is that a word?
Sure, yeah, let's do a sound effect. Ugh.
Ugh.
With much concern.
New
on a dark
Eldritch
path.
horror.
Can I take a quick time out and say, audience, for those of you who have been participating in the show and have been tracking it for a bit, apparently a revelation that I think came out last session was the idea that in Drizzle's room, Drizzle is an air genasi and has clouds filling most of the floor of her room, that apparently there are a bunch of ice coolers filled with either undead that Jasmine is investigating, or apparently just like the drinks in the refrigerator of the ship. And so I wanted to know for just a hot minute, whose idea was that?
Never having ice cream again.
Who do you think of the crew was like, I have a good idea. Let's
Please.
put the coolers.
It was either Blaze or Jasmine. If it
I think Jasmine was like, yes, it's very cool under your pillow, under your clouds. Do you mind if I store my corpses here? Thank you very much. And then Blaze was like, I could put some freezers under here too.
But coolers?
I feel like Bleeze is like a little bit of the OSHA of this situation. So, and the health inspector. So like Bleeze stumbled upon a body and was like, okay, we have to put these in boxes. What are we doing? We got to put boxes in here. All right.
I think
I
it was
think,
Leon. I think Blaze
Wait.
was like, yeah, ice cream.
Can you can you imagine Leon goes like, why is there a body next to my dibs? Like, I could just see it.
What?
I-
Sorry.
No, you're
Laura?
good. You're good. I always pictured it like when we originally designed this. I pictured it like, because Drizzle utilizes the top of the room, that the room itself, other than maybe the step in, was actually, it was built that there was a cooler built into the floor rather than just like boxes of dead bodies, and that like you could access that cooler from Jasmine's room, so she could just pull out a drawer and there would be like bodies. That's how I always imagined it. And so because of that, when this was
Oh.
presented to me, I imagined someone pulling out a drawer and there's a dead body and then like a couple of pints of ice cream.
Yo, I love the idea that Bleeze would help make basically more, you know, a morgue's the slider section.
That sounds
That's
great.
how I pictured it.
There's one slider that just comes out into the hallway, and it's
just the ice cream and the frozen pizzas.
sometimes the corpse winds up in there. Sorry, Earl Grey put it in the wrong spot.
Before we finish the other characters in our past, future, present, and futures, what is everybody's comfort food? What is the thing that you on a bad adventure day, right? You finish Spooky Week, you escape from the Nebula, and the ship there, the Curiosity, and what's your comfort food, right? A couple days later, you're like, man, I need to comfort myself. Where do you go for?
Like it's too cliche to be like meat because I'm the barbarian. Like
Turkey legs.
I eat a big fat turkey leg. Like
I mean, we just went on a food adventure. Bleeze is totally like into PFCs now.
PFCs is pretty good.
PFCs is pretty great.
The popcorn cockatrice is real good.
Oh yeah, and then like they got the mashed potatoes with it.
Yeah.
I feel like Lore likes whatever the Spelljammer equivalent for a comfort food is of like either like slow roasted beef or like pulled pork in mac and cheese.
Oh my god, that sounds so good.
Yeah, that's it. That's
cool.
That's
right.
Like a brisket, a mac and cheese
like
brisket.
a brisket with mac and cheese. Yeah, maybe even like once in a while, maybe like a little crumb topping as well.
Ooh.
But like that's when she's not just like, I'm just putting this in here, which is probably normally how it goes.
Never really thought about Jasmine eating anything before.
Well, buckle up. What's her comfort food?
She just eats Go-Gurt.
I did think of
That's it.
Go-Gurt. Yes, Jazz just constantly Go-Gurts up.
She can't be bothered with eating, so she just pulls out tubes of Go-Gurt while she's like working on her dead body.
Jazz never lets anyone in her room because there's so much Go-Gurt everywhere that it's embarrassing. It's just horrifying.
What a disgusting habit. Oh god, I used to love Go-Gurt. I loved when you froze it and it was solid for a couple seconds.
Max, I'm gonna just say, just go hard on that. Just go in.
Realistically, I don't think I think Jasmine
some.
would be horrified by the idea of Go-Gurt, let alone eating it herself. Gonna be honest, Jasmine doesn't like to drink, but after tonight, I think her comfort food might be the bottle of port wine.
Oh. Cool. Yeah. All right.
Port. She drinks. Of course, she drinks port.
It was gonna be something snooty.
It's a sip of port and a full guzzle of Go-Gurt. Like that's.
Stop saying the word Go-Gurt. No.
Jasmine's comfort food is like a port wine with a filet mignon and a lobster tail.
Scones.
Yuppie scum.
I would like some caviar, please.
I'm very upset I need some caviar.
Oh, what? Oh, maybe it's something from the Underdark. I'm gonna research this.
Audience, what do you all got? Any other questions? Otherwise, I know we're about to go into. We're gonna do. I think lore next.
I want to know Bleeze's comfort food first.
Yeah, Bleeze, what's your comfort food?
Bleeze's comfort food. No, it's you know how they like make things out of like chocolate that don't look like food?
Yeah.
There's a place in Mechanus that actually makes Mechanus. It's actually called Mechanus.
I can't say that in the chat. It blocks me every time.
So you go there and they actually have like food that's actually shaped like gears, nuts, and bolts. And it has like an oil type drizzle on it. Fantastic.
It's the most creative. You win.
I found that place on my studies.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, we make food
Back
that
in the
doesn't look
academy
like
days.
food, and you were like, exactly that.
Yeah,
Okay, I
think about
found
I
something.
would like to eat a machine.
it. Yes. Have you ever wanted to digest a clock?
And one of their most favorite product is chocolate gears, and all their people are not chocolatiers, but they're chocolate gears, and they all just like work on stuff. Yeah.
I think I've found her
Welcome
comfort
to
food.
McAnus. Can I take
All right, what do you
your
got?
McCain's.
So apparently, there is a type of shroom grown in the Underdark, which people use for regular consumption. It's one of the most expensive ones. Apparently, it's called spider blood. I don't have a description of what it looks like right now, but I'm gonna say it's like a black and venomous red color, and apparently it's seasoned with spider venom.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Say that's her comfort food.
Horrifying.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
we're going full edge and uppity.
Yeah,
so
like,
I
what
think
is
that's
the
perfect.
most goth expensive food?
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
can
it's
you
just
buy
from her
that at-
homeland. She used to love those. Every
can buy
once in a
that
while,
at-
Papa would bring home a box of spider blood mushrooms. Be like, we're gonna
Papa,
eat good
please
tonight.
Bring home the
Papa
expensive
stops.
goth
Yeah,
chanterelles.
yeah.
He
Papa
brings
stops
home
by
a spider to
Spencer's
milk.
/ Hot Topic and buys a mushroom for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Papa. And
Father.
then he was offering one out when he murdered.
And you're
my
like,
God.
this reminds me of the time he died, but it's still my comfort food for some reason.
It brings me more comfort to be edgy.
My dark's past.
All right, awesome, cool. So let's knock these out.
God,
Lore,
we got so off topic.
Tastes like child.
Lore, what do you got? What do we got for Lore?
Tastes like
Lore,
childhood
for
trauma.
Lore. Lore's past is driven, present is stuck, and future is more.
More
Driven, stuck,
lore.
more.
More lore.
More.
Lore will be more.
Interesting. I didn't know
So-
you thought lore was so stuck until today. It's interesting to know.
So my past
That is
lore,
wild to me.
very I would say athletic.
Hmm.
You're
You were athletic? Not
in the
anymore.
past, not in the past, not anymore. Present lore, lost. But
Please
future
give
lore,
them- or at
That's
least
my
use
future.
no. The future lore, worthy.
Aww.
Damn.
Oh, cute. That's good.
I went with a somewhat similar approach, actually.
Feelings. Damn, guys.
My first one for lore was aloof.
Oh,
Okay, yeah.
Because lore was very, like, punky,
Cool.
like, what do you want? And, like,
Too
also...
cool for school, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Now I went with responsible in air quotes. Specifically with air quotes. Because Laura is like currently momming up to the group and like trying to make sure that they don't cause too much trouble. Not
So
working.
Weird. So weird.
But Laura is currently trying to be the responsible one, and it's not where she should be, and it's not her strong suit, but she is trying.
Yeah.
And I respect that.
Valid.
And I had many options for this one. I couldn't really. I was trying to think of an appropriate. I think I went with adult. Because not as in like a
Could go
shade
both
way,
ways.
but kind of is in half shade, half like you find yourself.
Yeah, I think that's. I mean, I get where you're going. I think that's what I was feeling with more is like becoming what she's meant to be, but I don't know what that is. She doesn't.
Yeah, no, I mean, my thing would have been different if you hadn't talked so much about how Laura was like hated how she is right now and doesn't like being with us because she thinks she's trapped and shackled and
Oh God.
That's interesting that that's what you're taking from this.
Hey, audience, over under whether or not your lore is gonna do a mutiny against Leon. Let's get the money on the table right here.
I
now.
don't think she would do a mutiny against Leon. I think she would do it against Jasmine.
mean-
I actually think that Leon and Lore have a lot of really similar ideals, which is I'm interested to see if that plays out together or apart in the grand scheme of things.
Y'all are very buddy. I don't like
We
that
got
you're so close to my
Bleeznoik
boyfriend.
left. You are buddy, and we have a jealousy situation
hear that?
going on.
Did you hear that? I don't like that you're so close to my boyfriends.
Yeah.
Super gay. I'm
Last
super
time
gay.
someone got so close to my boyfriend, they disappeared. Just kidding.
Who
Jasmine.
did you make
Cool it.
disappear?
Who died?
Oh my god, let me pull up the lore for a minute. Oh my god.
There's a list. And it's just
Hey,
like
I'm actually an ooblex or an ooze. I'm actually
oh my
an
fucking
ooze.
god. It's like that scene in The
I'm
Incredibles
half
that gets
Ublex.
like memed on so hard, where it's like the villain versus the robot. It's like eliminated.
Um,
Horrifying.
Killed. MIA.
quick check. Any audience questions out there? Anybody have anything
We
that
do
they
have
want
an
us to?
audience
Oh, all right. We'll come back to Bleeznoik. Let's finish Bleeznoik and then we'll jump into the Flock Obama for a minute. So, folks, throw your Bleeznoiks in here, starting with Bleez.
Oh
James.
boy.
Jake, you didn't do lore.
Yeah, you didn't do lore.
I didn't do Jasmine either.
Ooh.
So,
Oh.
Okay.
That's true.
So
I didn't
none
think
of the
about
three of
that.
us.
Jake's like,
James.
it speaks for itself.
Jake's like, I'm not saying this in front of you guys.
So past Bleeznoink, determined.
word.
Present Bleeznoink, confused.
Nice.
There's a lot going on. Like, got a spider son. We're in hell.
You have a thing on your spine.
Yeah, my spine. Future Bleeznoink. Retired.
Oh, that's so cute. Yeah, Bleez. All right, I'm gonna only give
Pretty
real
good.
quick. I'm gonna knock these out. I'm not gonna give futures. I think that's. I think I'm
fair.
only gonna give past and presents. So Jasmine, I said overly cool.
She wasn't trying, but okay.
Jasmine was so into being cool at all times. And then present for Jasmine, I see is confused. But that's just my opinion on it, right? So I don't take it as
No,
I
you're
think I'm right.
You're
but
onto something.
Lore, I saw past was angry and is currently present alone, and then we have Bleeznoik. I actually really agree with. I think determined, but I would go inventive, and not only just like in actual inventing of things, but the way that you were thinking about the world. You were looking at changing the world in some way, shape, or form. And then I wrote for your present, powering up.
Powering up.
That's what
pretty
I
good.
wrote. So,
Please.
okay, let's.
Interestingly enough, for the past, I also put inventive for Bleez.
Uh-huh.
And I was
Better
also
than
like
my
not
count.
just that he invented things, but like his whole
Mhm.
mind frame. Present, steady. Future, revolutionary.
Hmm.
But I had to go next because I was like, we had the exact same past
I
one.
think that's.
Done.
I think yours are better than mine, honestly. But that's okay. That's okay. So for Bleez, I actually had trouble writing in character about this too. First, I went with reserved because Bleez and Jazz actually didn't talk that much during her school days.
It's true.
We were just kind of both like, I'm gonna do cool things, and they were like, yeah, me too. And then we went and did cool things. You helped me.
Nice science fair project.
Yeah, and then Jazz was like, what the fuck? You did help her with the lenses on her mask, which we haven't really gotten to explore yet, but I think it's cool. She has a couple other ideas to pitch to you, and at a certain point, I've been stockpiling.
More than willing to help.
But yeah, during the school days for sure, she didn't really talk to you. That we just didn't have time, I think. Current is genius. Bleez runs the ship. He makes shit. He's super inventive. He makes all kinds of things that help the party. Helps his son. Very clever. Very good at what he does. Obviously made laser pistols a thing, which is both a pain in the ass and extremely useful.
It really hurt.
It hurt making those. And so Jasmine kind of looked at it from a trajectory standpoint for like, thinks you're going to be powerful one day. Thinks you're going to invent something that really shakes things up. And maybe this time you won't be forced to sell it to everybody.
Oof.
It's True.
Yeah.
Oof.
They were gonna get that one way or another.
Or get some money for it at least.
Or-
At least,
yeah.
at least profit.
Powerful could be money, or it could be some incredible sciencey stuff.
It's okay. I got some ideas to pitch to you.
Oh yeah,
Um,
for my spells?
No, to Jake.
Oh, I
Oh.
can't wait. Hit me up in the DMs.
Will do.
Hit me up, Flock
Obama.
Obama.
Thank you so much for that awesome question.
For sure.
And we do have another question from Flock Obama, which is, who from the crew would have been your best friend by graduation if you had all stayed at the academy?
Cute.
Uh-oh. You all aren't gonna like my answer?
No, nobody.
Nobody.
Nobody good.
Friends with yourselves.
Go ahead.
Felix.
Go.
Yeah, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
Wait, you would've been-
Felix.
You would have been friends with Felix.
Probably.
Now, if you had to, I like that, and I think it's true.
Because of
but
the trauma and
also-
everything hadn't happened.
Also, if you had to pick from the crew, because the
If-
question was
okay.
from the crew, but I want to know both personally.
So
Personally, I want to know everybody's both.
Okay, we want to both answer?
I want to both answer.
Are we saying so kind of the
Flock
trauma
Obama asked from the crew.
Okay, so Flocka, there's a very distinct thing. There was trauma that happened that eventually led to us leaving the academy. Essentially. Did
I
trauma
also-
happen or not in this scenario?
This is so. It sounds like
This is full graduation.
Yeah, you.
We made it to graduation.
Yeah.
Whether or not there was trauma. Sorry. It was just basically the question is if you all stayed at the academy.
Okay, well,
Well, your crew would have been best friend.
I think it probably would have been Felix as like the outside of the crew, but inside, fucked. If all this shit hadn't happened, like, would she even like any of you?
Wow.
Who knows?
Fair.
Well, okay,
Jasmine.
wait.
Jasmine ships hard on Felix. That's what's going on. Jasmine's
Yeah.
like Felix is.
Not anymore.
Felix.
Let
Not
me
anymore.
invite you to recall.
There were some red flags that came up pretty hard.
Audience, you haven't met Felix yet, but buckle up.
You will, I think. Let me invite you to recall, Max, that even after Laura and Jazz broke it up, they were actually pretty close at the time.
We still fuck, yeah.
Friends! Friends!
It's called boning for support.
I think-
Audience, earmuffs, audience.
It's called boning for support,
Oh
okay?
my god.
We still
I just took
celebrate
that from-
together every once in a while.
That's what that noise is.
Celebrating.
Yeah,
That's just,
in the cooler.
Laura's just really strong, okay?
Why is the ice melted?
Oh my
I
god.
think-
Okay, so let's move on. And
it would have been
who's
Lore.
next on the friend
It would have been
situation? Yeah. So Lore or Felix for Jazz? What do we got? You two.
James, do you want to take this one? Next?
Yeah. I think it probably would have been Drizzle by the end of it.
I mean, Drizzle's a great I would love to get along with Drizzle as me. But I
Right.
know Jasmine fucking hated her.
It's true. Yeah, they were not. They were the polar opposite ends. Was there anyone outside of the crew that you think would have
Oh
been?
man. My favorite teacher.
There you go.
Oh, Anka?
No.
Oh. No, it was
No.
Blip.
Blip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't even think about
He got destroyed.
Yeah, Blip unfortunately died. So, yeah, Blip. Yeah, you would have been friends with. You would have been the teacher's friend. You know, you would have like
Oh, yeah.
graduated into like.
Oh,
yo,
yeah.
let's
I
go get
was
a drink.
pretty good friends with Anka.
Yeah, they're both dead.
Keyword was
All right, CJ.
one for the homies.
So this one is hard for me because I actually think that one of Lore's defining things of our pre-play was that she got really close to everybody. I think that she was only starting to get close to Bleeze. Like they definitely had their bro moments. But I think but then she spent time like where she and Drizzle would go off and Drizzle would train and stuff. And then of course her and Jasmine had history but stayed friends afterward. But then her and Leon literally ran a gambling ring together.
Yeah.
It's hard not to be tight with Leon.
Yeah, and so I feel like everyone had a different role in Lore's life, but one of the things that like was formative for Lore was separately getting close to everybody. But I almost have to say Leon, just because they have a lot of similar ideals. They were both tryhards, and they ran a gambling ring together.
Well, the question was best friend, not romantic
Yeah.
interest. So yeah.
Right. And so I mean, and yeah, I think that a case could be made for anyone, but it's probably Leon.
For sure.
I
That makes sense, because like what
Sorry.
we had was very passionate in the moment. Like, wow, you are hot. Kind of see.
Wow.
Kind
You're
of
hot
deal.
and capable. Time to
Yeah.
Hot and capable.
Wow.
Outside of the crew.
That one's hard for the same reason. In that
Astrid.
I was gonna say Astrid's a possibility.
The Ublex.
The Ublex, Astrid. The problem is that there was so much, like, I believe it was Max said that one of the things past lore was aloof, and she was kind of like too cool for school, and then she got really close with her class,
Crewmates.
which was us. It was the crew essentially, and so I can't think of anyone. Jake, please tell me if you can think of anybody outside of the crew.
100%. Dad.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Your
Yeah.
father.
You would
Like, if
become
you wouldn't
best
have had
friends with
anything-
your
If you had
daddy.
stayed
You
in
could've
school, you
reconnected.
would have.
You could have reconnected with your father.
That's fucking
Right?
horrible.
There was a lot of back and forth, guys, about whether or not Laura and her father were ever going to get along, and then he set them up. So
I think it was
Ready for
hilarious how
some
you
fire.
tried to disguise it at first.
Um,
You were
Laura
like,
tried to disguise
there's
it.
lots of lore fans around.
Yeah,
So
I
audience-
never did. but-
Audience, a lot of these references are stuff that happened during our pregame, right? And so, at some point in time, hopefully, we can show those episodes to you potentially. Or a
We do
chunk
have
of
them recorded.
We do have them. Yes.
I have to make sure I have access to all of them still. However, a lot of those narratives will still continue to come out, and as you can clearly see, have informed a lot of the way that our players here are kind of relating to their characters and some various characters you're going to meet. Like you've already met Admiral Lorefan, who is Lore's dad. You hopefully, and I'm excited for you all to meet Felix, whom the party apparently hates very, very much.
I will be
And
killing
I
him.
Love it. And so,
Probably.
anyway, I want to invite us to maybe come into a final set of questions. I think we could take about 2 more questions from folks. If anyone in chat has anything they want to ask us, let us know. I'm also always open to more nasty names for the nasty name sweepstakes. So throw some nasty names.
True,
in
we need
there.
more of those.
Can we submit our own nasty names?
Yeah.
If it roasts us hard enough, I mean, why not?
Meta. If you all as a crew do not decide to name yourselves, I will find a different way. To
We
name
already
you.
used up all of our favors to like not nasty, like do other things. But Leon cares so much about our reputation.
Look,
So-
I definitely think, again, meta, but I think we should maybe submit something.
That's up to you
Jasmine's
all.
not
You guys should figure
concerned.
that out.
We'll see how that
So it'll have to be one of y'all. Unless Jasmine gets
Uh,
like an order to do so. I don't think
Leon's
she'll
like,
care.
I order you to submit a crew name.
I really hope it's Scotty Four Fingers. I'm just like praying that that's going to be the nasty.
It
name.
makes no
So
sense.
It's so funny to me.
Somebody
Scotty
assigns that to our
Four-Fingers.
crew and they're like,
I mean,
"You
I'll
Scotty
also take
Forfeit? There's
Captain
only
Crunch.
there's 5 of you.
Yeah, Captain Crunch and the Merry Men is also really funny to me.
Oh my god.
I do like Captain Crunch and the Merry Men. What
So,
is this?
audience, any other final questions before we call it an evening tonight?
We got to do
Anything-
those flags.
We do have another.
I have an idea for the flags. I think we're gonna hold off on the flags for right now.
We do have another question.
Yeah.
It is, how far into crazy pirate shenanigans do each of you want to go with all of this?
Oh my god.
How far?
Yeah. Let's frame this a little bit more. Perfect world. How far you want to go, pirate? What do you want? Right? Pirate shenanigans can be so many things, and what do you want from it?
Sea monsters.
That's awesome.
So that's what Max just put.
Yeah, I put that in there.
Sea monsters.
How
Sea
far do we
monsters?
want our pirate
Astral
name?
sea monsters.
The
would be
astral sea
sick.
monsters or something.
You are going to the elemental plane of water. Welcome to Sea Monster Town. Population you.
I have such a chronic fear of like deep ocean. Please don't hurt me, Jake.
We also got Sanguine Raiders is a new one.
Oh, Sanguine Raiders.
Yeah.
Wait,
I
wait, hold
personally
on.
suggest
Sahuagin Raiders or Sanguine?
No, Sanguine, like
Oh.
the,
Sahuagin.
like the blood
Yeah.
Yep.
Sanguine.
condition.
Rather that.
I put the edgelords. I mean,
I think that's just one of us.
Y'all don't get to submit names.
We
No,
don't?
no, no.
Sanguine Raiders was
said-
not us. The Sanguine Raiders. Was not
Y'all don't get to submit names. This is the audience naming you potentially. You have to submit your name in game. You all don't get to do it out of game.
Okay, well that was I put in the. What? Sorry, I was looking at a list. One was pregnant pirates.
What?
What?
Is that your
No.
ultimate pirate experience? Okay.
I was just gonna.
I
Yeah,
hope
I was
not.
just gonna re-steer us back. In an interesting position, right? Because I think Lore is pretty morals driven, but by her own morals, and one of her morals is like fuck the academy. So I feel like she could justify a lot of things under that umbrella. I personally, as a player, don't have a strong preference of how far into piratey stuff we go, but we're already like presumed looting and stealing and all that stuff, which I think is very piratey. And Laura does not have a problem with that as long as it's inconveniencing the academy. So I don't know if I actually answered the question at all, but I'll pass it over to someone else.
So you just
What
wanna
did you
be
say?
You just want to be extra piratey as long as it inconveniences the academy?
Yeah.
We could absolutely go on some
Laura's
raids.
like, I'll be as piratey as you need me to be, as long as I'm in direct opposition to my father.
That's fair.
Okay.
I feel like she's really kind of vengeful, but she shares Leon's ideals of like. I think there are some heights that she would not go to because she shares Leon's ideals of like, I want my name cleared, I want our name cleared, and I want my dad brought to justice. And I think like she's willing to do a lot of things that might be pardoned, but there are probably some really heinous things that she would not do because she's like, this would cross a line, and even if people knew I was innocent from that thing that happened, they would not forgive me for this. So I think she kind of toes that line a little bit. I don't, and I think that she toes the line more than Leon does, but they both have an ultimate goal of like restoring their reputation and bringing their dad.
Jasmine, what are lines?
To justice, yeah. So
Max wants sea monsters.
like Laura's
like
like a
it.
Disney pirate.
The astral
Okay.
sea monsters would be dope, I
Astral sea
think.
monsters would be
That
insane.
if we were gonna submit one as a crew, I think we should submit that.
Yo, okay, I'm sorry. I know I was just talking, but okay, I know we had like kind of spooky abandoned ship creepiness already, right? But like a proper like Davy Jones situation.
Oh.
Yeah.
What do you
That would be
mean?
cool.
Like we
Like
name ourselves
Ghost
something like
Crew.
that?
No, like Ghost Crew, like Damned Ghost Crew.
You want us to go fight a crew that's only been talked about in legend?
Oh.
Yeah.
You're talking
Oh,
about the final serenade?
What?
What?
The final serenade? It's a ghost ship that moves through the astral sea. Its captain speaks only in iambic pentameter.
Excuse me?
Yes.
You don't know about that ship?
No, I can't say
Sounds
that I've
Very
ever played.
spooky.
Like
I've
I
ever
said,
played Spelljammer before.
Disney pirates.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that we could get it done. Yeah.
We can
I
name
love a
ourselves
good
like
ghost
the. What was the name of the Peter Pan pirate?
Oh yeah. I don't know.
The Peter Pan pirate ship?
Yeah, there's
like
Captain
that's
Hook and.
The Hook Boat.
Captain Hook in the hook boat?
All right, it's time to Google research because that's offensive to somebody.
James, what do you want in the pirate world?
Piratey.
Right. So and I think let's frame this too as like Spelljammer is like basically pirates in space, right? That's what we're playing. So what do you want? You know what I mean?
Oh.
Treasure.
Oh,
I want an unnecessary amount of treasure.
They've got the flying
where you
Dutchman.
have to go visit your treasure on like a 3-day weekend just to spend time with it, and then you still have to go back home though.
Yo, what if we had like, okay, so we all know that Treasure Planet is just a sci-fi redux of like Treasure Island, right? What if we had a core of a planet filled with treasure and a portal and everything from Treasure Planet? What if we just ripped off the entirety of Treasure Planet?
I mean, we're already level 9. We could do that.
We could do it.
yeah. Let's make it happen.
Apparently Captain Hook piloted the Jolly Roger.
Ah, the Jolly Roger. Yes.
I feel like that we should have known that, but
Captain Hook and the Hook
Captain
boat.
All
Hook.
right. Any final question before we go into? Actually, we're going to do the flags tonight as well. So
yeah, I yelled at Jake and DMs
yeah.
because
But,
I put so much effort into setting up this flag voting.
What a great question about what do you want to see more in piracy and pirates? What do we got? What did
Max.
CJ? What's good?
Heists,
Max didn't answer yet.
Oh,
heists are great. Love heists.
Love
The
heist.
wedding heist was fantastic. I want to see more raiding, more cool like Yarm. I want ship to ship combat. I think that'd be cool. Get to take down a merchant ship. We see a merchant ship sailing through the astral sea. Boom, ours.
Because
Activation?
ship to ship combat went so
Neuron
well for you
activation.
and Leon last time.
What do you mean? Excuse me? Ship con that went well for me on Leon. What are you talking about? What are you referring
Said
to?
ship
Oh.
to ship combat did not go well for you and Leon last
yeah.
time.
We can make it happen. We'll make it happen. These are great ideas.
Your trauma from the
That
academy.
that was a lot of ship to ship combat. That was a war.
That was
Not a raid. That was a war.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Thank you for bringing that up for me. I can
Now I'm traumatized again.
add another one to the trauma counter. We're at 7 now.
Yeah, well, I'm charming. What can I say? Yeah, but no, there are no more questions. Thank you guys so much for all of your
Yeah. Thank
Audience
you so
participation has
much.
been fantastic tonight. Shout out to Flock Obama. I designate that Flock Obama gets one free curse or bless at their choice for whenever they want it.
Done.
Cool. Flacco, you hear that? Whenever you show up in chat, just roll a D10. I'll know what's up.
Yo, yeah, we'll call it in. All right, gang. So we're gonna start bringing this to a close. We'll finish up with our final of our 3 events. So thank you so much, audience. You've now helped me establish bounties for 3 of our cast members here, which will later inform a variety of other individuals who live across the multiverse who are always strapped for cash, and who might want to get some easily. Additionally, thank you again so much for helping define for me a couple of names submitted to Nasty Name Sweepstakes. If you think of more, please feel free to add them or let us know in some way. Shoot us a message on our socials whenever we announce our show, and just name it Nasty Name Sweepstakes and then add that name in there. Or hashtag nasty names. I don't know if we're going to get in trouble on socials for that, so we'll check that later. But yeah, that would be kind of funny. And add your names in there. And if your name gets selected, I will call the party this from now on within the game, as long as I reference them as an entire crew. Right now, I call them Captain Leon and his crew of the Eternity. So I'm looking for a better name.
Crew of the Eternity.
And so then additionally, I will find some way there will be some fun reward for this. And so beyond that, I wanted to bring us to our final event of the evening. And Max, if you would help kind of run this with us, please.
All right. So chat, we're going to need a lot of audience participation. So if you are AFK and just listening to this, go ahead and get your typers ready. I'm going to scroll through. Well, not scroll. We're going to transition in the middle screen. We're going to transition through, I believe we have 6 flag submissions, all designed by our crew via Midjourney, which is a great bot that you should always use. It's great. It's fantastic. It's great for making fantasy art.
Flags
we-
were designed in character.
We did design them in character. The one that we've had in the middle of our screen all night has actually been Drizzle's flag, which is a little bit off center. I'm now realizing. I'm so sorry.
Things happen.
Things do happen. There we go.
I love because it was by Midjourney, like there's some realistic kind of textures there, so it looks like she painted little stars on
It does, yeah, no, it was very well done. So this is Drizzle's flag submission for our crew. If you like this one, we will be going through, like I said, 6 of them. So we'll be doing flag 1, flag 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I would recommend just vote like by just saying the flag that you like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Seems simple enough, right? So that'll lead us to flag number 2. This one was submitted by Captain Leon. If you like this one, you know, keep it in mind. It's got a little bit of One Piece energy to it, but it's cool like that. I like it. A little bit edgy too. The skull is all fucked up, and I like it. This will lead us to flag number 3.
Ooh, I'm gonna put on some like epic music.
Oh
for
yeah,
this one.
put some metal on or something. I'm excited. This
takes a second to like lead up, but it's a jam.
okay. Perfect.
I'm looking at these flags too for the very first time, so this is gonna be.
Wait, what?
Where did these flags come from?
So Lore submitted this one. This is Lore submission. It's kind of like an anti-academy symbol, because you can see the Spelljammer Academy logo is up in that corner of the screen on Jake's face. That is the Spelljammer Academy logo. So that is kind of like an anti-Spelljammer one. They wanted lots of red and black because they wanted it edgy, is what they said. This one was submitted by Jasmine. Skull with some smoke coming out of it. Pretty cool. I like the aesthetic. Very nice. Thank you, Midjourney. Then we have, this one was either Lore or Leon. I don't remember which.
I think that one was Lore. No, that had to have been one of Leon's.
I think it might have been Leon's, because I made a couple for him. He had,
because it looks similar to the One Piece one, doesn't it?
he had ideas going on. And
Yeah,
again, that
I
is
think that
flag
was
number
Leon.
5. And then we have flag number 6, which would be this one, which was, that is like a full rectangular shape of it, by the way. Kind of smoky, kind of intimidating, kind of would look really cool flapping in the breeze kind of deal, you know. Pretty neat. And I'll run back through them again. So we've got flag number 1. Then we've got,
give us a solid 5 seconds on each one.
okay, flag number 1. Flag
All
number
the screen at
2.
once.
Drizzle's like trans pride.
Trans pride, yeah. They describe themselves as a trans flag, or a trans cloud, which is what their background is, actually.
Perfect.
This is flag number 2.
And that's Drizzle's flag.
Flag number 1 was Drizzle's.
One was Drizzle's.
Oh, my apologies. Okay.
Okay. Flag number 1, Drizzle's flag.
2, is one of Leon's. Okay,
2,
so we're back at
Leon's flag. Number 3, Lore's flag, which is honestly has
some-
great design.
I love it. Also, it has a little bit of Sith energy.
It's a little Sithy. Flag number 4, Jasmine's flag. One of them.
Okay, yeah.
Flag number 5, I think Leon's as well.
Yeah, I can't remember, but it's cool though.
And then flag number 6, Jasmine's other one. So audience, go ahead and vote for what is your favorite. I will continue to cycle through. And I'll just say the name of the flag as we go through.
It's a flag.
Yeah, it's a flag. Flag 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There's the epic music.
Yeah, we went through the Bardic Jam twice already, and I was like, it's time. We
Some
have one
epic.
vote in.
We have one vote in from Flock Obama. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Should the crew be allowed to vote? Damn it. All audience. Where's Zach when we need him?
We need votes, folks.
Yeah. We can always continue to have this vote, Flacco. We could always add your vote into a pool here, and we can continue.
We can do it on social media. I just really wanted to show off our options at least.
So we can add
Because I worked
Obama's
hard.
vote to like a vote pool
Yep.
and maybe do a social media post and see if we get some more replies there
I
as
like
well.
it.
Because I think a lot of people do like to just like veg out and listen to us, especially since we're not playing right now. So you don't have to do the blesses and the curses. We're just kind of chilling. So I think a lot of people might be away from their keyboards.
Yeah,
Totally
audience, let's Flacco, let's save yours. Thank you so much for voting. And what we'll do, audience, Iron Valor is about you. Get in here, right? Add your votes in here. Help us change our game and change this world together, including selecting this flag. We'll put these flags up for you on social media and other places to help gather a vote. And hopefully sooner than later, we'll eventually settle on a flag that will stand for our crew here. Yeah.
Well, in that case.
And with that being said, thanks everybody for coming and joining us for a shortened session of just chill and chat for Spelljammer. Again, wishing the best to both Deanna and Brandon, who were not able to join us here this evening, as well as wishing you all a great evening and looking forward to playing with you again in 2 weeks. Next week, given that we're in a holiday week, we're not going to be meeting. But then the week after that, we will be returning to watch our heroes survive against the guards of the Nine Hells. And we'll see if whether or not they are taken into the Mentiri, the fiendish prison of Dis. So.
They won't take me alive.
Well, they don't have to. So, thanks everybody, and have a great evening. And thank you again for hanging out tonight. Max, is there anyone we should call out to? And thanks so much also, Lotsky, for putting a bless early on. We will not forget that bless, and we'll, similar to Flock Obama, we'll bring that in from
Right. I will go ahead and lock that down. I think they ended up going with 3.
Got it.
I'm going to write down bless of 3.
Great.
Cool. And I'll write down Lotsky just in case. Also, Flacco has a free bless or curse to use whenever they feel like. Love them. The only person we actually need to shout out tonight, and this is going to be very self-congratulatory, is Panda Juice Gaming, resubscribing. Thank you.
Wow,
23 months in a row. Wow.
Holy.
All right, everybody.
That'll be it.
Well, thanks, everybody. Have a great evening. We look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks, where we watch our party yet again survive through the Nine Hells. And beyond that, for next week, I'm not certain if Fate's End will be playing on Monday, but you will find that out on our socials. And then lastly, keep an eye out. We have other games that will be coming out soon, especially as we come into the holiday season. We'll have a couple of special one-shots and other things coming up, including, I can at least name, I think we might explore a Honey Heist episode, which would be extremely fun to run, where we run around as bears, bear criminals, trying not to become evil criminals or too bearish in the process. And I know that we have another potential holiday one-shot coming up for some Iron Valor related things, potentially.
Cool.
And another Quad of Copper episode coming out where you play as the children of Quad of Copper, this time trying to hunt down Santa Claus himself. So, stay tuned and keep in touch for us as we move into the holiday season. And we can't wait to see you in 2 weeks. Again, let's shoot for the stars, and we'll see you all then.
Stick around with us. We're going to do a little bit of a raid in a second, so y'all feel free to stick around for that. But otherwise, have a great night. Bye.